So today's video is another video in the Hachette Disney Crochet Granny Square Blanket series. And today we're moving on to issue 41, which is the Aladdin Magic Flower Square. I'm quite looking forward to doing this one. It looks quite different from the ones that we have done before, and it's a different mix of colours, which looks quite cool as well. So we need 6 different colours for this one. It's 5 different colours for the main square and then 1 white for the border. The 5 colours that we are using for this one, over here we've got the vanilla. This one over here is the coral. We've got the hot pink, the periwinkle and the aqua green, and then of course we have got the white for our border. So for this one we are starting off with the vanilla, so let's just get straight into it. So we're starting off with yarn A, which is the vanilla, and having just had a look at the instructions, it says that this square will be quite similar to the one that we did a few issues ago, which was the Cocoa Fiesta flower from issue 36. Apparently this is quite similar to that one. I don't know if it's exactly the same pattern. It does just say it's a variation of, worked in a different colour palette. But it's given us instructions again. Now normally if it's the same square it would just say to go back to the other instructions and just to change up the colours. So hopefully that means that this is similar but just slightly different, because it's just nicer just to be able to do something a bit different each time, I think, because it just means that we're learning something different each time. I just prefer doing it that way. Anyway, I'll shush. So we are doing a wound ring, which we did for the Fiesta flower square. So again, this is for all right-handed users. I'm sorry that I can't do it both ways, but take your middle finger and your index finger and pinch the yarn with your thumb, and then you want to bring the yarn down the back. Remove your middle finger and then take the yarn over the front, and we're winding around 15 times. So I've just done 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14 and 15. Once you've done that, if you take your index finger and your thumb on your other hand and pinch together where your working yarn tail is coming from, and you can pull that one off your fingers, and then once off, again pinch through with the index finger and your thumb on the other hand so you can pick up your hook. You want to go through the centre of your ring and pull that working yarn loop through, and from there you can bring your working yarn up over your hook and pull through to do a slip stitch. And you should have then closed your ring. For the first step of round 1 we want to chain 1. We're then going to do double crochets into the centre of the ring to make a wound ring. Now make sure, I don't know if you can see through that hole there, you want the perfect centre of that one. It is quite difficult to get confused about which side some pieces of yarn go to, but you want to make sure that it is a perfect circle and all the ends are in the right place, or you can end up with it looking quite messy. I know that I undid mine for the last square several times and redid it because it just wasn't looking quite right. So just make sure you pull those apart and you get them exactly how you should. So we're doing double crochets into the ring. So put your hook through the middle and pull up a loop. Yarn over and pull through both. And we've done 1 into the ring, pull up, yarn over, pull through both. There's 2. Yarn over, pull up a loop, yarn over, pull through both. There's 3. Into the ring, pull up a loop, yarn over, pull through both. There's 4. Into the ring, pull up a loop, yarn over, pull through both. There's 5. Now, as you all know, or for any newbies, you won't, so I will explain briefly. These aren't my patterns. These belong to Hachette Disney Crochet magazine subscription, and these videos are tutorials purely for the people following the subscription. Due to this, I can't give away the full pattern in the video due to copyright. So I can't give away every instruction. So unfortunately for this, you do have to do a certain amount of those double crochets into the center of the ring. I can't tell you how many. I'm going to go off camera now. I'm going to finish doing the amount that we need to do. It says under round 1 in the magazine exactly how many you need to do, and I will meet you back when I finish doing those stitches, and I'll let you know what we need to do to continue the square. So after going all the way around, you should have something that looks like this. What we're then going to do is to join this together with a slip stitch into our first stitch that we did. So find your first V at the beginning, go in through that one, pull up a loop and pull that loop straight through to the other side, and you should have something that looks like this. You can then fasten that colour off, and we're going to be working with yarn B, which is the coral for the next round, and you can join yarn B to any of the stitches that we've just made. So my coral is now attached to one of my double crochets from my last round, and I then need to chain 3. So there's 1, 2 and 3. We then need to do a treble into that stitch that we've joined the yarn to. So yarn over and into the same stitch that your chains are coming from, pull up a loop and you'll have 3 on your hook. You then want to yarn over and pull through 2, yarn over and pull through 2 again, and you've completed that treble. We then want to do 2 trebles into each stitch going around, and the book will tell you exactly how many more there should be to go. So I will do a few with you. So yarn over into your next stitch, pull up a loop, yarn over, pull through 2, yarn over, pull through 2. You then want to yarn over and go into the same stitch and pull up a loop, yarn over, pull through 2, yarn over, pull through 2. And we've completed 1 set. We're then yarning over and into our next stitch, pull up a loop, yarn over, pull through 2, yarn over, pull through 2, yarn over into the same stitch, pull up a loop, yarn over, pull through 2, yarn over, pull through 2. We've done 2 sets now. Obviously we don't count these first 2 stitches at the beginning because they were chain stitches followed by a treble. So where the book says repeat this amount X amount of times, I can't tell you how many times it should be, don't count those first 2 stitches at the beginning. So at the moment we've got 2 stitches here, so we've done that once, and 2 stitches here, which is the second time. So into the next stitch, there's 1 treble and 2. We've done it 3 times. Into the next stitch, there's 1 treble, into the same stitch, there's another, and we've done it 4 times. So keep going all of the way around. The magazine will tell you exactly how many stitches there should be, and I'll meet you at the end of the round. So I've gone all the way around for round 2. We now want to join with a slip stitch into our 3rd chain. So we've got 3 chains here at the beginning. We're going into that 3rd chain, pulling up a loop and then pulling that one straight through, and you can now fasten that one off as well. For round 3 we're going to be using yarn C, which is the hot pink, and you can join yarn C to any of your stitches going round. So there's my next yarn attached. Please do bear in mind, if you haven't watched any of my videos using the hot pink colour before, for some reason cameras can't process this colour properly, so either it will look blurry or it won't look the right shade. It will make like everything on the camera appear a weird colour, but please do bear in mind this is just because all cameras are exactly the same and they can't process it properly. So I will do just my best to keep it focused and we will see how we go. Anyway, round 3. We've joined the hot pink and we're then chaining 2. 1 and 2. We then want to do a treble into the next stitch, not the stitch that your chain's coming from. So we're yarning over and going into our next stitch, pulling up a loop, yarn over, pull through 2, yarn over, pull through 2. We then want to chain 2, and we're going to be trebling 2 together over the next 2 stitches, and we're going to repeat that 15 times. So 2 chains, treble 2 together, 2 chains, treble 2 together, all the way to the end. So we've just done our treble into the next stitch followed by our 2 chains, and now we need to treble 2 together over the next 2 stitches. So we're yarning over and going into the next stitch and pulling up a loop, so we have 3 on our hook. We're then yarning over and pulling through 2, and we're left with 2 loops on our hook. Yarn over into your next stitch and pull up a loop, and you have 4 on your hook. Yarn over and pull through 2, you're left with 3 on your hook. Yarn over and pull through all 3, you've completed your treble 2 together. So now we need to chain 2 again, 1 and 2, and then we're trebling 2 together again. So yarn over into your next stitch, pull up a loop, yarn over and pull through 2. Yarn over into your next stitch, pull up a loop, you've got 4 on your hook. Yarn over, pull through 2, yarn over and pull through all 3. Repeat that again, so we're chaining 2. Yarn over into your next stitch, pull up a loop, yarn over and pull through 2. Yarn over into your next stitch, pull up a loop, yarn over, pull through 2, yarn over, pull through all 3. So repeat your 2 chains and your treble 2 together, going all the way around, and I'll meet you at the end of the round. So I've gone all the way around for round 3 with our hot pink. I've done my last treble 2 together. After that one we want to chain 2. There's 1 and 2, and we're joining with a slip stitch into our first treble. So we're ignoring our chain stitches at the beginning this time, and you want to go into your first treble stitch that we did, and you're pulling through a loop and pulling that one straight through on the one on your hook. You can fasten off the hot pink. For round 4 we're going to be using the periwinkle colour. So for the periwinkle we're joining it to any of the 2 chain spaces, so through any of the gaps, don't put it through any of the stitches. So I've got that one joined on, and we're then chaining 3. 1, 2 and 3. We now want to do 2 trebles into the same space that we joined our periwinkle yarn to. So we're yarning over and into the space, pull up a loop, you've got 3 on your hook. Yarn over and pull through 2, and then yarn over and pull through 2 again. We're repeating that stitch into the same space. And there's your second treble. We then want to do 3 trebles into each of the next 3 spaces. Now it's going to vary what we do in each of the spaces for this round, purely because it looks like we're now going to be making this into a square shape. So 3 trebles into each of the next 3 spaces. So yarn over and into your next space, and we're going to do 3 trebles, which is exactly the same stitch that we've just done. So there's 2 and 3. Into your next space, another 3 trebles. There's 1, 2 and 3, and the same again into the next space. There's 1, 2, and 3. We're then chaining 4. 1, 2, 3, and 4, and then do 3 trebles into the next space. So there is 1 treble, 2 treble, and 3. We're going to keep repeating that as we go around. So we want 3 trebles into the next 3 spaces, 1 treble, 2, and 3, 2, and 3. There's 1 set, 1, 2, and 3. There's my second set, and then 1, 2, and 3 for my fourth set. So I can now chain 4 again, 2, 3, and 4, and 3 trebles into the next. 1, 2, and 3. I'm going to finish the next 2 sides of the square off camera, so it's 3 trebles in the next 3 spaces, chain 4 and 3 trebles into the next space. I'll meet you at the end of the round. So for the last side of the square, you will have done 4 chains in the corner and then 3 trebles in the next space. And then the same as before, we will have done 3 trebles in the next 3 spaces, and we're at the next corner. So we now need to chain 2, 1 and 2. We then want to join with a half treble into our third chain. So we've got our chain stitches at the beginning just here. You want to yarn over and into your third chain stitch that you did at the start of the round, and pull up a loop, yarn over and pull through all 3 of those stitches, and that is the end of round 4.